Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today I'm going to show you one live example of a bad advanced plus optimization that I have seen from an agency that they don't know that I have access. A lot of times I'm telling you that there are so many cases of the advanced plus optimization or CPO optimization and different things that we can see here and there. So when I have examples that I can show you, I'm going to make a video and show you so that we can gather all of this information in the channel, and you're going to be able to see them and learn more and more about the different cases. Let's go to my PC, let me show you this optimization example, and I will see you there. Hi guys, I would like to interrupt this video in order to talk to you about my new mentorship programs, and I would love if you go to the website. You're going to find the link in the description, or you can find it in the menu of my website, and over there you're going to be able to see the different mentorship programs that I have. You can find the one that's going to fit better your needs, and I will hope to see you there. Okay, so in this campaign the damage has already been done, but I want to say some things in order to understand. So I was watching the downfall of this campaign as it was happening, and I know how they optimized it. First of all, here they were changing the budgets during the campaign because they were trying to control the campaign in that way. You can see that we have here ads that they never did spend. What we said about the Advanced Plus campaigns is that we have one leading ad. The leading ad in this case, it was this one, having this spend with 1.32. I consider this closing of the ad correct, but they didn't focus on the second biggest ad or the third biggest ad, which was having actually healthy ROAS over here, and this one. So what I was going to do in this case, instead of just going with this option over here, this one, is that I would come here and okay, this one is the leading ad and it wasn't spending properly. Correct, let's close it. But let's focus on these other two, because over here, if we take those two and we filter by selection, we can see that the average that they're getting is 2.48. That means that we could focus on these two over here, keeping them, not turning them off, closing this one, turning off this one, and keeping these two, which are the two other leading ads, so that we can continue like this. Instead of that, what they did is that they closed everything and they just kept this one. Now, what they don't know is that on the last 7 days, for example, it might be showing 2.85, okay, because this happened recently actually. Also, let's go to the journey of this one actually, let's see. So here it still has some. Yeah, look at this, look at this. Now I understand why I wanted to show you this. Okay, so over here, if we see from the 21st to the 27th, we can see that this one was actually taking $500 spent in 7 days, guys. That means that this ad was just getting some sales. They are dazzled by the 3.83 that they were getting over here, okay? So this one is getting 500, this one is getting 600 and stuff. So they're dazzled by this one. So they just keep only one, okay? And they don't care about this one, for example, that was doing also well. Now, over here, if we go from 22 to 28, we can see that the results here are dropping also. This one is getting 5 ROAS, but let me show you what is going to happen at the end. This is a company that is getting sales with a high average order value. So from time to time, you need to be a little bit more flexible in the optimization. Of course, they don't know that because they don't have excessive experience with them. But the truth is that in this ad account, they are trying to do Advanced Plus immediately, but I can sense here that they don't know how to optimize Advanced Plus campaigns, because here you could see that from the 23rd to 29, we were having 2 and 3.48. This means that the only problematic ad was this one. Okay, this one had to be closed and then continue optimizing with those, and after 3-4 days see what is going to happen and stuff, which one is going to be your leading ad. Your leading ad over here, which is this one in this case, we can see that it's having 3.48, but they chose to go with this one. That means that they have only seen ROAS and they have never seen the amount spent. The amount spent is also important, because the amount spent shows that if you keep going with this ad over here, your results are going to be between 3 and 4 ROAS, like this, okay? But if you keep going with this as your leading ad, for example, if the spend was 800 on this one, most probably you were going to be between 2 and 2.5 because the majority of the budget is having 2 ROAS. Let's continue and see what was happening in the next days. 24 to 30, we can still have good results, and here this one is declining. So what have they done? They closed all of these ads, and now all the budget that was between 4 ad sets over here, 4 ads, now it's being distributed to only 1. Okay, and they have this one which doesn't spend a lot. And guess what is happening? In the last days, this one is on free fall. Even if we go on the pure last 3 days, for example, or 4 days, we can see that this one is in an awful position. Why? Because they have liberated so much budget from this that they actually scaled this one, while this one wasn't one of the big spenders of the Advantage Plus. If this ad over here, with the results that it had on the last 7 days, it was one that was having 3, 4, 5 ROAS, but with a higher spend among the other 3, then okay, I would understand to do so. Also, another thing is that when they did the change and they closed the ads, for example, on 29, do we have any spend here? On 29, they kept spending over here. Okay, so the spend over here was 285. Let's say that you close this on the 29th, then you have to also lower the budget from 127 to, let's say, 285 minus 125 on 160. So with 160 budget, this ad set over here was going to take the budget, and it wasn't going to be any issue. But the biggest issue over here is that they have never realized that in the last 14 days, the biggest spender was this one, okay? This one was taking also budget, but after closing the ads, basically, they never lowered the budget over here in order to stabilize this specific ad. And basically this ad took so much budget, which actually made it to fail in the last 4 days. Now, what's the issue here? Too aggressive and too fast. Because if you think of it, if you are just closing all of the 4 ads without lowering the budget, that means that you're too aggressive. If you were going to close just one at a time and leave it for 4 or 5 days, one at a time, leave it for 4 or 5 days, in order to see if you can split the budget between 2 or 3 ads that they are showing some good results, this thing was not going to also happen. I believe that it was an action with zero knowledge behind it, just by watching that in this period of time, I guess it was getting some good ROAS, and not realizing that even if it gets good ROAS, it doesn't mean that you can close all the other ads and just leave the same budget and expect it to have the same ROAS with the higher budget that you're going to give it. Because in this period over here, if we see, for example, the 25th, this thing was spending $56, okay? And then it started spending on the 26th, it had zero spend actually, okay? And the 28th, where is it? 28th it had zero spend, 30. Then it started spending again crazy over here. Let me see when they started these ads. No, all of these ads, they started together on December 30. So basically, maybe they even closed it and they reopened it, maybe, which is another big mistake over here. Okay, let me see basically if they... Yep. So from pending review to inactive on the 30th of January. Let me see the last 14 days. From inactive, pending. Oh, they're closing and they're reopening on the 31st of January, which is today. Oh, they closed it. Did they close it just now as we do the video? Did they close it? Let me see. No, it's turned on. Anyway, I guess they're going to close it anyway because it doesn't do well. And the other thing is that this right now, as far as we can see it, we might see that in the last 7 days, the results might be 2.85, but the results are not going to stay like this because this one is getting 2.34. And by having all the budget, the ROAS is going to drop even further down to whatever it has. And if in the last 5 days, for example, or 4 days, it has 0.13, you can understand that most probably the campaign is going to decline completely with that ad over here. This campaign, if I was going to optimize it, most probably it wasn't going to have this outcome. There have been 4 or 5 mistakes in a row that happened and actually made the whole campaign collapse and fail. Watch my videos about advanced plus optimization, and you can understand more on how to optimize these campaigns so that you won't have these problems. After all, it's not only about having an advanced plus campaign and it's going to magically work. Sometimes you need to optimize, especially in your accounts that they have new pixels. That's all I had. I hope that this is going to help you understand a little bit more about it. And here we have a very bad example of optimizing. And I will see you for the closing of the video. So that's all I had for you. You know that I'm a little bit salty when it comes to agencies, that they are one-trick ponies and they just do one simple structure of 3 campaigns or 2 campaigns or whatever. And they're lazy and they're not touching the ads and they're not doing anything. Don't forget that if you want to learn more, you can check my book, my course, my website, my other videos. And until we meet again, guys, be creative and be consistent.